If you listen to judges summing up to a jury, it's kind of funny sometimes if you listen to them. They're doing the best they can, but a jury is supposed to be kind of dispassionate. You must leave aside your preconceived ideas and look at this thing coldly, before you adjudicate on guilt or innocence. But human beings are not robots. We're prone to our own emotions and oftentimes not logical. All of us are guilty of that sometimes. Most judges that I've come across, they tend to be quite fair, and the newer ones tend to be quite kind of aware of their position. They are not gods, and they don't pretend to know everything, and they don't try to be the smartest person in the room or the funniest person in the room. And they ask for guidance, and that's great to see.
Are judges cynical?
Some are cynical. Vast majority of them are trying to do the right thing. A fair number of them take the state side by default. They're open to bias, and there's things that operate in the background that might affect a judge's decision to give a person this penalty for the same offence and a different judge give them a different penalty. There's a vast discrepancy between what judges give in terms of penalty for the same offences. That's down to human nature. But cynical? Generally not, no, I don't think so. The guard will give evidence as first, and the judge will be taking notes about what the guard's saying. And oftentimes you'll hear a judge saying to the guards, just slow down and try to write this down. They have to write down what's being said as the witness gives the evidence. And as they're writing stuff down, you'll often see a judge looking at them and trying to assess them just the way you would assess someone telling you a story. You look at body cues, facial expressions, to help you form your view as to whether or not their account is accurate or believable. Judges are no different. And so they're looking at the guard giving the evidence as well as hearing what they're saying. And they'll do the same with you when you give evidence. They'll be assessing you. Accuracy is usually the thing. Most people honestly believe what they're saying, but they can be mistaken. But writing it down straight away is very important, because over time you'll forget stuff. And if you come into court going, I think, more or less, or it kind of was, that's pretty fatal.
Do judges want to convict you?
No. There are some judges who are pro-state. That's just a fact of life. They are. And sometimes you're up against judges that look at it from a prosecution point all day long. That is what happens. It's a major issue in the UK. In the UK, there's a 95% conviction rate over there. It's massive. Over here, it's about 64, 65%. And that's down to the fact that judges are, they've come from a background in law anyway. Magistrates in the UK don't. They're appointed by, they're people of good standing. But judges here are familiar with the court system. But there's still quite a lot of them who are pro-state as a default setting. And some of them just take a look at your client, don't like the look of him, decide to convict him in their own way.